first story time with school stories. This video, like all my other videos, is sloppy and unscripted. I'm making it because I can't find anything else to do. And yeah. So I'll try and think of some good school stories. I do have a few already patched up in the back of my brain, but a few that stuck with me. Although there is one thing I'd like to talk about first. I like to call it the teacher paradox. Now, I've only been in elementary school for up to 4th grade. So, although I haven't been through much school, I've been through enough to know the teacher paradox. No matter how much of an actual good person you are, and my dad's a teacher, so I've met a lot of people as teachers, as actual people. But no matter how much of a good person you are or a good teacher, you can't escape the teacher paradox if you're a teacher. You cannot actually, no one can do a perfect student teach. It's completely impossible. So no matter how much you love your teacher, they will never be a really good teacher. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Because the school system is messed up. And they are required to do things in a way that's messed up. So, how are they going to be a good teacher if they have no free will over what they're doing, and what they're forced to do is not good? The answer is, they don't. So they're either really bad teachers or really meh teachers. So far, I've gotten none that are good. There are no other teachers. But, on to school stories. So, school stories. I remember once I had this teacher named Miss Marchetti. But for the sake of this video, let's call her Miss Norbert, because everyone knows Norbert is the best name for cats. And there's this weird thing where she said, I think once, that we were going to make yearbooks at the end of the school year. Now, of course, we didn't. But a kid came in when we were in the middle of... She was a 2nd grade teacher, so she gave us a story. When she was in the middle of reading it, a student came in to get her yearbook. So apparently, only one person really missed yearbook, unless there were tons of people and they were all like me. Don't really want to call people out on anything because they're scared. But we never made yearbooks, and that made me sad. It's always been the thing I wanted to do. Yeah. Also, mainly during school, because I wanted to, and as you may know, if you know me in real life, you know I like to keep mysterious and surprising. So I tried to write things down in a diary several times. That didn't work out. I'm actually planning on trying it again soon, but it'll be encoded. Not only will... I'm not going to the lengths to use the secret code I made up. It's called Narquis, and I'm not showing it to you because then if anyone watching this video actually knows me, then they'll be able to decode my extra secrets. But that all right. You know, with that hack with the blue and red marker, where you have a red sheet, and then, you write in whatever, and then you cover it in red pen, like scribble over it, so no one can really tell what you wrote. But then you have this red sheet that if you put on it, the red will disappear because they're the same color, and so you can see through the sheet and read the words. I'm planning on doing that and making several encoded messages to locked areas, so it would be very, very difficult even though it's kind of like a organized quest, I would make it so that it would be near impossible for any of the minds I've met in elementary school, a lot of which aren't very good with codes. And there would be multiple locks, and so it would be extremely difficult for someone to get a hold of it behind my back. So that's kind of a school story. And I remember one time I had this friend throughout third grade and now for most of fourth grade. And for the sake of privacy, let's just say you already know about her in one of my shout-outs, and her name will be Catfish. I don't know why I thought that up. But, so, yeah, there are probably tons of stories from that perspective. I actually developed a crush on Catfish once, but that's a whole other can of worms we're gonna have to delve into at some other point. Or who knows, maybe we won't. But I remember a lot of the time Catfish would just be one of those people who when my introverted mind was just bored out of my heck and would just sit down randomly somewhere, Catfish was one of the people in my small circle of friends who would just come up to me and forcibly take me to enjoy my life. Which you could say is kind of bad because it would make it hard for me to enjoy some good alone time, but at school, the least thing I want is alone time. School is specifically set up for you to learn and socialize with other people. Those are the two main things. So I'd rather not be alone. Although at home, I like to be alone a lot. So again, you might say that's kind of bad because I wouldn't get any personal time. But it was actually kind of nice. Although, again, the stuff with just sitting alone and being an introvert, again, that's a whole other can of worms we'll have to delve into at some other point. So, the two main people in my friend group were Catfish and another girl you haven't heard of on the channel yet. So let's name her Shoebox. These names are just coming up randomly. Like, Catfish and Shoebox have nothing to do with their actual personalities. So, Shoebox and Catfish would help me from time to time with that. If either of you are watching this, I hope you know who you are. And, thank you. There is one vivid story that resonated with me, though, which is the time I had to leave school to go to Paul Cuffey Lower School from MLK. And I was never too fond of MLK, Martin Luther King Jr. School. And that's the sad thing. It gets really good reviews, and that's why we went to it. But the school itself, it wasn't so great. The people I met there were amazing, and our friendship was a great experience. 10 out of 10. Would be friends with again. Of course, by now, we've both developed completely different personalities and are new people and probably wouldn't mix as well. But, love to see it. But anyway, I remember I had to leave school for Paul Cuffey on the day that me and a few other kids got selected for a special art class. Now, art class was always busy and buzzily because none of the kids liked it, except for me and a few other kids, apparently. So we got chosen for it because we were, quote-unquote, good and liked art. So we went there. Of course, the art I made was far different from the kind of art I would make today. Like, just an example. I think I really just played around with paints back then. This is the Steven Universe Art Challenge I did yesterday. Which I know for a fact it's a completely different style. So, one of the other people was actually really nice and gave me a really nice painting they made. And I got tons of cards, but a lot of them misspelled time as T-I-M, Tim. And one of them, I think a few of them actually thought I was moving to a completely different area, and that I only might have to change schools, but it was just a school change. But sadly, most of the people who thought that I didn't know very well, and I don't think we're the most intuitive people in the class. If any of those people are watching this, it's not an insult to you. I just didn't think you were good with people. I didn't think you understood a lot of things. But, anyway, for some reason, my phone doesn't like uploading things that are too long. I tried once. It ended catastrophically. So, this video is already long enough. It's as long as it's ever gonna get. So, bye-bye.